don't believe it!
I don't believe it!
I don't believe it!
I don't believe it!
The whole city's talking!
I hear he cries it out all night!
Mozart! Mozart! 32 years ago,
Mozart was dying.
claimed he'd been poisoned.
Some said Salieri.
And what if Mozart was right?
If he really was murdered, did he do it after all?
Ghosts, be my confessors. I wanted fame, yet only in one special way. Music. Not even time can alter that music is God's art. By 12, I was stumbling about the fields of Lombardy, humming up my arias and anthems to the Lord. And that night, I prayed through the moldering plaster with all my soul. Signore, let me be a composer. Grant me sufficient fame to enjoy it, and in return, I will live with virtue. Your servant for life. Shortly thereafter, I met the emperor, who favored me. Clearly, my bargain had been accepted. And now, gracious ladies, obliging gentlemen, I present to you my final composition, entitled The Death of Mozart. Or did I do it? On this, the last night of my life. The place route is Vienna. The year is 1781. I am 31. Already a prolific composer to the Austrian court. I had a prize pupil, Caterina Salieri. I was very much in love with Caterina, or at least in lust. But because of my vow to God, I was entirely faithful to my wife. My ambition burned with an unquenchable flame, and I was the most successful young musician in the city of musicians when, suddenly, and without warning,
Mozart has come!
These are my Venticelli, my little winds.
He's come looking for work.
I want to meet him. What houses does he visit?
He'll be at the Baroness Waldstadten's tomorrow night.
So, I went. I entered the library to take first a little refreshment.
Meow! Oh, I'm going to bounce! I'm going to scrunch munch! I'm going to chew poo my little mouse wows! I'm going to tear it to bits with my paws claws.
Before I could rise, it had become difficult to do so.
Oh.
Someone
Hey, what's trazom?
What?
Trazom, what's that mean?
How should I know?
It's Mozart spelled backwards. If you ever married me, you'd be Constanza Trazom.
No.
Marry me. Answer me this minute, yes or no? Come, my dear. The music waits.
Yes, and then right away, the concert began. I heard it through the door. At first, only vaguely, too horrified to attend. But presently, the sound insisted. A solemn adagio in E flat. It started simple enough, yes, but then suddenly, high above it all sounded a single note on the oboe. It hung there, unwavering, piercing me through, till breath could hold it no longer, and then a clarinet withdrew it out of me and sweetened it into a phrase of such delight that it had me trembling. It seemed to me that I had heard the voice of God, and that voice issued from a creature whose own voice I had also heard. And it was the voice of an obscene child. I ran home, and I buried my fear in my work, and at night I prayed for just one thing. Signore, let your sound enter me. Let me be your conduit. Let me.
Fets and fireworks, gentlemen. Mozart is here.
Majesty. The Emperor Joseph II of Austria, adorer of music, provided that it made no demand upon the royal ear. Majesty, I have written a lovely little tune in Mozart's honor. May I play it for him as he comes in?
By all means, Count Composer. What a delightful idea. Stuak, bring him up at once.
Majesty, your Majesty's humble slave. Let me kiss your royal hand 100,000 times.
No, s'il vous plaît. A little less enthusiasm, I beg you. You know everyone here, surely, but not, I think, our esteemed Count Composer. Herr Salieri, he wrote this little exquisite march of welcome for you.
I'm overwhelmed, Signori.
Tell me, Mozart, have you received our commission for the opera?
Oh, indeed I have, Majesty. I've already found a libretto.
Ooh.
The whole plot is set in a Pasha's harem. Majesty, there's nothing offensive in it. It's full of proper German virtues, I swear it.
Come then, Mozart, name us the proper German virtue.
Love, sire. I mean manly love,
Ooh.
Signori, not male soprano screeching all that absurd Italian nonsense. The first act is already finished.
But it cannot have been more than 2 weeks since you started.
Composing is not hard when you have the right audience to please, sire.
Ooh, au revoir, Monsieur Mozart.
Majesté, je suis comme le donneur, d'être accepté de la maison de père de tous les musiciens. C'est vraiment causé plein de déshonnement que votre majesté. C'est un honneur qui dépasse le sommet de mes dieux.
Ah, well, there it is.
Good day, Majesty.
Votre majesté.
I too wish you success with your opera.
Oh, I'll have it. It's going to be superb. I've already found the most excellent singer for the leading part. Caterina Cavalieri. Oh, she's really German, but she thinks it'll advance her career if she sports an Italian name.
Yes, my idea. She is, in fact, my prize pupil. I had kept my hands off of Caterina, yes, but I could not bear to think of anybody else's upon her. Least of all, his.
You're a good fellow, Salieri, and that's a jolly little thing you wrote for me. Let's see if I can remember it. May I?
It's yours.
Oh. The rest is just the same, isn't it? doesn't really work. Does it? Let's try the third above. Huh? Yes? Good!
Scusate. I must...
Oh, really? Why don't you try a variation?
No, thank you. Really, I must attend on the Emperor.
Ah,
It has been lovely to meet you.
for me too, and thanks for the march.
Was it then so early that I began to have thoughts of murder? The first performance of Abduction from the Seraglio, the creature's expression of manly love. For my Caterina, he had written, quite simply, the showiest aria I'd ever heard. So ridiculous, so much what might be demanded by a foolish young soprano, that I knew precisely what Mozart had demanded for it. He'd had her. Though engaged to be married, this creature had my darling girl.
Well done, pussy wussy.
It was a good effort.
Oh, did you really like it, sire?
Too many notes.
There are just as many notes, Majesty, neither more nor less, as are required.
Oh, well, there it is.
And what did you think of it yourself, sir?
Mozart, at its best, truly charming.
And at other times?
In Caterina's aria, for example, it could be a little excessive.
Yeah, Caterina is an excessive girl, in fact. She's insatiable.
Won't you introduce me to your charming fiancée?
Of course. Constanza, this is Herr Salieri, the court composer, Fräulein Weber.
Delighted, Cara Fräulein.
How do you do, Excellency?
It is obvious you have found un tesoro raro.
Ah, very much.
Good night, you both.
Good night, Excellency.
Good night, sir, and thank you. Come, Stanzel.
Have her. Her for Caterina. A party celebrating the new year.
You shamed me!
Shamed you? That's a laugh. If there's any shame around here, lovey, it's mine. You've only had every pupil who has ever come to you. The Arnhammer girl, the Runbeck girl, Cavalieri. She wasn't even your pupil. She was Salieri's. Which actually, my dear, may be why he has hundreds and you have none. He doesn't drag them into bed.
He can't get it up! That's why! Have you heard his music? That's the sound of someone who can't get it up! At least I can do that.
I'm sick of you. I hate you. I hate you forever and ever.
No, Stansel, no, don't cry, no. Here. Beat me. I'll just stand here like a little lamb. Here.
Stop it.
Oh, ooh. do it again! Oh!
Oh, good evening.
Excellency.
How long have you been standing there?
Oh, I was asleep until just a moment ago. Are you two quarreling?
We are.
Might I suggest that you bring us a sorbetto from the dining room? There cannot be a better peace offering, such a sorbetto.
He's a love, really.
Yes, and lucky, too. You are, if I may say, an astonishing creature. On the other hand, your husband does not appear to be so thriving.
We're desperate. Sir, please don't tell him I talked to you.
Between us, how can I help?
My husband needs security, regular employment. Is there nothing at court?
He's coming back.
Please, please.
Won't you come and see me tomorrow? Alone.
I can't do that.
I'm a married man.
All the same.
Yes or no? In his interest. What of that vow I'd made in church? Fidelity, virtue, all of that. No, I couldn't think of that now. The next day, I waited in a fever. Was I actually going to seduce a young wife of 2 months standing? There she was. She'd come. Signora.
Excellency, I brought you some manuscripts by Wolfgang. Once you read them, you'll understand how right he is for royal appointment.
Oh, you mean now?
Yes, of course. I have to bring them back with me. Those are all originals. He doesn't make copies.
Constanza, tomorrow evening I dine with the Emperor. One word from me recommending Mozart as a tutor to the Princess Elizabeth, and that invaluable post is his. Surely, service of that sort deserves a little recompense.
How little?
The size of a kiss. A pity. Somewhat small pay, wouldn't you say?
What do you mean?
Is it not clear?
I'm going! I'm getting out of this!
Constanza! I would like to look at the manuscripts you've brought. I will study them overnight. And you will study my proposal. Not to be vague, that is the price. Good afternoon. Fiasco! Did I behave like this before he came? Mozart! Spiteful, sniggering, conceited, infantine. Mozart. Him you have chosen to be your sole conduit. So be it. Enemies. They say that God is not mocked. I tell you, man is not mocked. I am not mocked! My life had acquired a terrible and thrilling new purpose, and Mozart was to be the battleground. Would God strike me dead for my impiety? Suddenly, at 10 o'clock at night, Signora.
My husband is at a soiree of Baron von Svieten's. He did not think I would like it.
I see.
Well, let's get on with it.
Your manuscripts are there. Please take them and go now.
You,
Via. And don't return.
you rotten!
Via! I would have liked her. Oh yes, then more than ever, but I wanted nothing petty. You see, my quarrel now wasn't with Mozart, but through him to the God that loved him so. Amadeus! Amadeus! The next day, when Caterina Cavalieri came for her lesson, I made the same halting speech, and she kissed me easily, with brandied breath, and slipped into my bed, where she remained for many years as my mistress, behind my good wife's back. So much for my vow of sexual virtue.
Figaro! The marriage of Figaro, that disgraceful play of Beaumarchais!
A piece about real people, Baron. I want life, Baron, not boring legends.
Yes, Salieri's recent ace was a legend, and it did not bore the French.
Because it is impossible to bore the French, except with real life. Opera is important, Baron, because it is realer than any play. I tell you, I want to write a finale lasting half an hour. A quartet. Becoming a quintet. Becoming a sextet. A septet, an octet, a nonet. On and on, wider and wider. All sounds multiplying and rising together. And the together making a sound entirely new. I bet you that's how God hears the world. Millions of sounds ascending all at once and mixing in his ear to become an unending music. Unimaginable to us. That's our job. That's our job, we composers, to combine the inner minds of him and him and him and her, the thoughts of chambermaids and court composers, and turn the audience into God. I'm sorry. I talk nonsense all day. It's incurable. Tell the emperor that the opera is finished.
Finished.
Right here in my noddle. The rest is just scribbling. He's going to be proud of me. You'll see. Withdrawn!
Oh,
Absolutely! No plans for its revival!
I had just ruined Mozart's career at court. And God rewarded me by granting me my dearest wish.
Kapellmeister!
How long would I go unpunished?
Mozart looks appalling. I hear he's dosing himself constantly with medicine.
My friend, I hear that you're not well, my friend.
Oh, it's nothing. A few pains. I tend to have dreams now. Quite often.
Wolfer.
A looming figure comes to me, all wrapped in gray, doing this.
Surely you don't believe in dreams, my friend.
Perhaps if Wolfgang had proper work, he would dream less. First, Kapellmeister.
Stanzi, please! Excuse us, sir!
They've moved house again. Yes, it's a real slum. Oh.
I'm cold. I'm cold all day. Hardly surprising since we haven't any firewood. You remember the fire we had last night? Because it was so cold you couldn't even get the ink wet. You said, "What a blaze!" Remember, what a blaze, all those old papers going up.
What? Stanzi!
At least it kept us warm. What else will do that? Perhaps we should dance. You love to dance, Wolfer. Let's dance. Write me a Kontradanza, Mozart. It's your job to write dances.
Stop it! Stop it! Stanzi, Marini, don't! Please! Look! There's a kiss! Where's it coming from? Kiss. Kiss.
Get off!
I'm frightened, Stanzi! The pains stay. And the dream.
I can't bear much more of this.
The figure is like this now. Here. Come here. Its face still hidden. Always hidden.
Stop it! Stop it! You frightened me! Stop it!
Stanzi!
And now I hear something more has happened.
She's gone!
Gone? My friend, what do you mean?
Constanza. She's gone away, just for a while, she says. She thinks I'm mad. I think maybe I am. I was seated at my table working, and suddenly there came 3 sharp knocks at the door. And then a figure entered, all muffled in gray. And then it spoke. Wolfgang Mozart, you are required now by my master to write a requiem mass. It must be finished completely when you see me next, and you will tell no.
Was this what I had actually done?
Mind you, it's not nearly finished. Time was when I could have finished the mass in a week. Not anymore. I've been poisoned.
Poisoned, my friend.
Isn't it obvious? The Mass. It's for me. I am to write my own. Oblige me to take a look at it, just a page or two, and tell me if it's worthy. You see, I don't know anymore. Everything's leaving me. Oh, it began so well. My life, all the rooms full of smiles, and Papa bowing with such joy. Chevalier Mozart, my miraculous son. Why has it all gone? Was I so wicked? Why must I go?
Who was this for? This appalling music, who was it for? Not himself. Certainly not himself. What need mourn a man who's going to live forever?
My one protector!
Who then? The boy! That eager boy who once stumbled about Lombardy, singing. In 10 years of unrelenting spite, I have destroyed myself! Suddenly, any feelings left within me rose up, crying, "End this. Confess to him. Get from him whatever absolution he can possibly grant. How else can you live on after?" Wolfgang, you are right. You must hear me. You are right. You are poisoned by me. You see, we are both poisoned together.
Go away!
No, you must forgive me, please.
No,
For all my sins against you, slanders, foul thoughts, endless injury, endless wrongs, please. Absolve my wicked soul.
No, God.
Amadeus.
No, Marik, God, mira.
Wolfie! I'm back.
Stanzi.
Wolfie, can you hear me?
Salieri.
Try to hear. Wolfie. If I've been a bore, if I've nagged a bit about money, I don't mean anything. It's only because I'm spoiled. You've spoiled me, lovey. You have to get well soon now, because we need you. We wouldn't know what to do without you. I'm not clever, love. Can't have been easy living with a goose. But I've taken care of you. You must admit that. And I've given you fun, too. Quite a lot, really. Are you listening? No, know this? It was the best day of my life when you married me.
The death certificate said kidney failure, hastened by an exposure to cold. What did I feel? Was it pity? Pity at last for the man that I had helped to destroy? Yes, I felt the pity that my God could never feel. And so I stayed on in this city of musicians, reverenced by all, on and on and on, for 32 years. What was it that I had wished for in church as a boy? Was it not fame? Then suddenly, his masterstroke. Mozart's music would sound everywhere, and mine, in no place on this earth. I must survive to see myself become extinct. Dawn has come, and now I must release you. I have but one trick left me. My servants carry the news out into the streets. They will hear of my dreadful death, and they will believe the lie forever. Vi saluto.
Salieri has cut his throat, but he's still alive.
Mozart, perdonami.
But Salieri is quite deranged. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. No one believes it in the world.
Mediocrities. I absolve you all. Amen.